All right, happy Friday, everyone. We have a lower body strength and conditioning workout coming at you right now. So for equipment today, I have my usual, my dumbbells, my glute bands, as well as I have this nice brown tea towel that I'm going to be using for some hamstring curls, as well as some 3-point extensions on this hardwood laminate actually floor. But anyways, if you do not have something like this and or a floor that slides, you guys already know that I have an option. That is a great option that doesn't need this. But if you do have that available, or you even have actual sliders, we are going to be using that today towards the middle of the workout. So we'll get you guys standing shoulder width apart at the front of your mat to start. We're going to start off with some step back lunges, where we'll step back into a lunge and send both of our arms over our head. So we're starting off with these ones, counting out 5 per side, 10 total. I feel like my camera's a little bit high. So we'll get those arms as straight as we can. And as we go down, both arms come up. We're looking forward and we're counting out 10. Once you guys are done 10, we're going to go through 10 more, but this time at the bottom, we'll add 1 turn and a reset at the bottom of each lunge. So we'll go down, turn, reset, up to the top. And we'll go through 10 like that, with that 1 turn in there. There you go. So try to really separate that turn, we reset, and then we will come back up to the top on that one. Going through 10 of those. Okay, so the next one, you guys can get into a squat stance. We're going to stand bit wider than our hips, toes slightly pointed up the sides. We'll be sitting down into a squat and getting our hands as close as we can to the floor. Standing up, rotating and pivoting 1 foot so that we turn over to the side. I'll come back down, touch the floor, go to the other side and come up onto this opposite toe and turn my hips towards that side. You guys can see it kind of ruffles up my mat. That's because I am turning my foot so much. So we'll go through 20 of these total, 10 per side. As low as we can, hopefully eventually touching the floor, but not forcing anything. And if you're doing this early in the morning or before you've done much of anything else, we'll progressively try to sit a little bit lower as we go through these reps. So we'll go through these ones 5 per side, 10 total. Did I say 20? I meant 10. So we'll go 5 and 5, and then we'll get you guys down onto the floor for the next one. So once we're done those ones, we will get ourselves down into a plank position. So we're going to go hands and feet, standard high plank position, lifting up onto our toes. We'll push our hips up into the air, walk our hips out, 1, 2, 3 times per side. And then we will come back down to this plank, and that was 1. We're going to do that 5 times. So we'll lift up. You'll feel some stretch happening through the back of your legs. As we lower 1 heel, we're bending the opposite leg, feeling the calf loosening up, back of the heels. We'll go through 6, 3 per side, and then we will bring it back down into a plank. So we'll go through 3 more of these total. This one is going to warm you up real quick. Being in this plank position for this long, going through this lifting, lowering, shall warm you guys up. So we'll go through these ones. Again, 5 of those total. You probably have 1 more. Woo! And then we're gonna stand up. Woo! Once you guys are done, stand yourself up. We got a couple more of this warm up. So the next one, you'll want something to hold onto. I'm gonna use this nice wall right here. We're going to swing our leg forward and backward. We've done this one before. So we'll go there and back is 1, and we will go through 10 forward and back like this. And I'm just kind of leaning over slightly on the standing leg so that I'm not obviously kicking the floor with this moving leg. And I'm holding on so I don't have to worry about balance. So we'll go through 10, and then we'll turn and we'll swing this way now. Again, same thing, there and back is 1, and you guys are doing 10 total. I want to kick the wall. So we'll go through those on both sides. So once you've done the forward, backward, side to side, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll take it forward, backward, again, 10 total, and then side to side. And so really good one to help us warm up, loosen up everything around our hips, get it ready for what we're about to do. So we'll get through these ones. And then we got one more that we are going to do here. Okay, so once you guys are done that one, we will bring ourselves into the very center of our mat, standing really close together in our feet. We're going to be stepping out into a side lunge. So I'll send my hips back while I go over to the side, and I'll push myself up to the top, and I will go out to the other side and push myself up to the top. And we are doing 20 total to finish up our warm-up here, 10 per side. So I'll show you guys from the side here. Hips go back behind us. Rather than knee forward with the chest up, we want to stick the butt out so that we feel everything through the back side. We're looking for a stretch in that inner thigh, that center one, and then work on this outside leg, mostly through the back side of the leg. So we'll go through these. My arms are just assisting me, reminding me to stick my butt out. We'll get our 20 reps, and then we're gonna start this thing up. Start this party up. All right. So I feel like I told you guys that you did not need your sliding thing until the middle of the workout, but I take that back because you will need it for this first superset. So once you guys are done that, we are going to be starting you off today with sumo deadlifts, which we'll be using dumbbells, maybe bands, we'll talk about that in a second, and a hamstring curl. So the hamstring curl, we can do lots of versions. I'm going to show you guys 3 ways specifically to do this exercise. The first way is using a towel folded up, probably, laying on our back, and you will need a floor that slides. So if you don't have tile, hardwood, laminate, something like that, this one's not gonna work for you. Instead, you can use a dumbbell, laying on your tummy, aligning your dumbbell up like this, or I have a bodyweight option done in a bridge position that doesn't need any equipment. So I want you guys to get set up for this because this is where we are going to start. We're going through 10 reps total. So we're keeping it a little bit lower in the rep range, but we want to really make them hard, of course, as usual. So we'll start off this first set. Consider this more like a warm-up set. We're going to kind of feel it out and figure out what, how we're going to do this best for ourselves. So I will show you guys the towel one. I have this dumbbell set up, so I'll just show this one to you here. So this is the one where we grab the dumbbell between our feet, and then we pull this guy up, squeezing that dumbbell in, going through 10 reps total. So if you're going to do them like that, you guys can, get yourself started. If you're working with the hamstring curl, we'll want access to a slippery floor. We'll see how this works on this floor. Sometimes it doesn't slide so well. So we're doing 10 total. Now, most of us are going to find this pretty hard, but if you can try to keep your hips off the floor and go through your 10 reps while keeping your hips lifted. If that's too hard, we touch down, pull in, and then push up and send out. So we're going through the 10. Again, if you don't have any equipment, you're going to extend your legs and do this extended bridge, which works well for those of you who don't have any of that stuff. So we are going to do 10 of those, which you have probably already done. And then we're pairing this with a sumo deadlift. So for that one, I'm going to be using my dumbbells. I'm going to hold them in front of me. 15 reps total, going into this wide set sumo stance, toes pointed out. Dumbbells in front of us. I'm going to turn my hands so my palms are facing each other, shoulder blades together, hips back, bend the knees, push them out to the sides, and we'll go through 15 very conscious reps. We're really focusing on driving back and then down so that our shins stay vertical and we don't sink our hips down into a squat. So we want to do a deadlift. So those of you who don't have dumbbells, you probably have bands, or maybe you have a towel. You can hold something in your hands here and go through the same exercise, although it's not ideal to do this without weight, but it works if you don't have weight. So we'll get 15 of those in. And then you guys are going to go right away and do this 3 more sets total. So we're going back into that hamstring curl. Now there is technically about 30 seconds of rest in between these. This first set, you might not need it as much, but on your next 3 sets between those ones, you might want to take that full 30 seconds of rest. And it's not a full minute or like 45, it's not as much rest as normal because we're trying to just kind of keep moving and keep your hamstrings and back of the leg muscles working through this entire superset. So when you guys are feeling ready, we will get back down and start our second set of the hamstring curl. Whatever version you are doing, you're doing 10 reps total. And we want to make those challenging. You don't want to be able to get many more than 10. So try your best to make that happen for yourself. Okay? Slowing down. If you're doing the dumbbell one, squeezing your feet together more. If you're working with the sliding one, that one is just probably hard to begin with. But slowing down any of these versions will make it more challenging. All right. So second set, 10 total for the hamstrings. Yes. And I'll get you guys up for those sumo deadlifts. Yes. So we should be feeling the back of the legs on those hamstring curls. And we'll get you guys coming right up into that deadlift. So you can grab onto your weights. Do we want the feet wider than our squat stance? Okay, so squat stance is like here. I want to step out both of my feet wider than where that is. Same angle on my toes. And I'll set the shoulder blades, push the hips back, and really push the knees out. And you guys can see that my knees are sitting over top of my heels rather than inside. This is not good. It doesn't look good. Doesn't feel good. It is not good. But if we push out, that's where you actually get the work in your hips, because if the knees are coming in, this is not the one anything. But if we're pushing out, you're going to feel a lot more in here. You're going to get a lot more in there, and you're not going to waste your time, because no one likes that. All right, so we have 2 more rounds, of this stuff. Now, second set, you should be feeling this a little bit more. So once you're done your deadlifts, you have 15 of them. If you want to grab a quick sip of water, now would be your time to shine. And then you will transition back down onto the floor for set number 3. You're doing 4 sets total. Very fun stuff. Okay, so we'll get those deadlifts in, and then we'll get you guys on your back. So we've talked a lot about this hamstring curl before, and we've only recently started to think about doing this with our butt off the floor. For the longest time, I was like very specific about the fact that I wanted you guys to go out and then butt down and then pull in and then reset. Whereas now I'm kind of talking about that option to keep your hips elevated and pull in and out, especially because as I scooch up, we are working with like a lower rep range. So it'd be a good time to try it. So you can try it out. Remember, if you are going to try this hamstring curl with the butt off the floor, to keep your toes pointed up to your face, because as soon as I point my toes away like this, I'll start to use this muscle and you won't feel this as much. You'll start to feel a little bit more down here. So if you point your toe upward the entire time, regardless of what you're doing really, you're going to feel a lot more through those hamstrings in the back of the leg, which is what we want. But at any point, you guys, if this feels unsafe, if it feels like it is not so good back there, stop and do something that feels safe, okay? Because these muscles, hamstrings, they are very sensitive muscles, and we've kind of been gearing you guys up to do this and to get stronger at this. So in theory, it's fine, but you just never know. And I always want to make it clear that you should not be doing anything that feels unsafe or feels like it could pull something, because it's not worth it. So many other ways to do it. I just showed you. So we'll get this third set, you guys. We have 1 more, and then we're going to move on. Woohoo! Okay. So let's do it. Last set for the back of the legs, the hamstrings. Good job, you guys. All right. So we'll get
through this third set and take a little bit of a water break once you're done. Trying to keep it quick though, so that we can get through the last set. Although you guys have lots of time. We have about 3 minutes until we should be starting the next part. So enough time for you to finish this set, rest a little, do one more if you need to. Woo-hoo. There you go. So pushing out those knees, you guys got it going on. Okay, so deep breaths. Now you're really remembering what I said, how you're gonna feel this more as you go through each set. You're gonna maybe want this rest more progressively as you go through them, which is understandable. So take a little bit. When you guys are ready, we'll go into our final set of both of these. So we have our last set of the hamstring curls. We're gonna do 10 reps, make them as hard as possible. We're nice and warm. Our body knows what to expect, so we can really push ourselves and make these 10 as challenging as possible so that we cannot get 12 in. Okay, that is a goal. So make that happen for yourself on this last set, followed by 15 of those sumo deadlifts. So final set, you guys. And trying to remember all those things, flexing the feet up, actually thinking about your hamstrings, focusing on the back of your legs. There you go. Ta-da-bam! Woo! And then we're going to stand up with your final set of these deadlifts in. The last one. Okay, so dumbbells, bands, whatever you guys are using. Again, if you don't have anything, you probably have a towel that you can use, and we can go through this last set. So we're trying again to really push the knees out. Feel uncomfortable in this one. If we feel good about our form, but we feel challenged in our muscles, you guys should feel some serious work happening in your legs. And you do have to think about it. Thinking about that stretch as we go down, we're stretching, lengthening everything through the backside, and then we squeeze and we shorten it up to the top. We squeeze it all the way up. So let's bring that into our 15 reps of our last set. And we're going to move on. Take a little quick water break in between here. Good job, guys. Taking a sweet time with these reps. Last set. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is. Nice work, you guys. Okay, so breathe through this. All right, so once you guys are done, yay, good job. We're gonna grab a quick sip of water, keep all of those things close. You're gonna need them all. We're moving on to the next part, which is 2 new exercises, although we know these ones, we've been here before. Although this first one, it's been a minute since we've done this one. So we're gonna start off with our single-sided exercise, although this one is kind of like a sneaky double-sided one, which I'll show you guys, which will make sense, because we're gonna step backward and then forward. And that's 1, and then I'll go backward and then forward, and that's 2. And I'm doing 8 on this side, and then I'll switch and I'll do 8 on this side. The kicker here is that both legs are really working in this both of these lunges. So we step back and we have this leg working here, and then we step forward and we have this leg working here. So if you guys remember this one, or maybe you don't, if you want to try it out, we're doing 8 total. There and back equals 1, 8 and 8. So if you feel like that's going to be kind of easy, absolutely. Please add some resistance. We can hold on to dumbbells, if you guys would like, down by your sides here. With the band, this one you can't really band because of the way that this lunge works. But if you do want to make this harder with no equipment, well, think about just not using that leg to push as much. So I'll pull myself up, and then I'll use this one to really fire myself off the floor and explode back into that lunge. So we're going 8 and 8. Woo! Little sneaky cardio in here too. Gets the heart rate up. So we'll get this in on both sides. Both of them. Sometimes this one can be a little bit confusing. You're like, wait, what side did I start with? Because both legs burn in this one. So we'll get you guys going on right and left. Once you are done, we are going to pair this with a RDL. That's our Romanian deadlift. So it's a straight leg deadlift variation with the more narrow feet. So in terms of equipment, I'm going to be using those handy 8-pound dumbbells. If you guys do not have dumbbells, we're going to hold a band the same way we had it. Or if you want to try something else a little bit more challenging with the band, that is, you can try doing this with an overhead hold. So I hold the band over my head. Not the same for dumbbells. If you're using dumbbells, we're just going to hold them down here. Set our posture, soft knees, and then we just stick the butt out till the dumbbells are below the knees, and then we pull ourselves up using that same butt squeeze. So we stretch, and then we contract and pull up to the top. And we're going through 15, 5 of them. Let's do this. So we're trying to feel that stretch through the back of the legs, through the back of the hips, and we're really moving through our hips. So all you have to think about is pushing your hips back and then pulling your hips forward. That's what's up on this one. Dumbbells are held with palms facing our hips, and we're dragging those dumbbells down and up our legs. We want to keep them nice and close. As soon as they stray away, everything in your core, lower back has to work harder, which is not what we're going for on this one. Alrighty. So, 15. Woo! Deadlifts, straight leg deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, lots of names for this one. But the most important thing is that you are hinging your hips. We want to move through the hips, not through the back. So we don't want to think like body down. We want hips back, which is going to help us clean up that form without having to think about too much. So once you guys are done, same idea with this one. You have about 30 seconds of rest, really just enough time for you to take like a couple deep breaths to yourself. Grab maybe a couple sips of water, get that in there, and then we'll go right into our next set, okay? So same thing, if you did your first set and, wasn't the most challenging, you can go right into your second. Maybe make this one a little bit harder so that you feel like you need that rest. So if you did not add weights on the first set, you found it was a little easy, well then add weights in the second set. You don't necessarily need to hold 2 because it might make it too hard. You can always hold 1, your chest here like this, or, you could hold it down here if you like, but I find up here is a little bit less awkward, a little easier for balance reasons. So we'll go through our second round, where you guys again are doing 8 of those per side. Backward and forward equals 1. Forward, backward, whatever one you want to count. It doesn't matter, as long as you remember. All right. So we're going through these ones and trying to use the power of the legs to push ourselves off, to pull ourselves up. And we'll go through 8 of those total. Burning legs. There it is. Good job, you guys. Forward and backward. So this lunge here, I love this one. It's a little bit distracting, a little bit dynamic, but for some people, that forward lunge does not feel the best, okay? And this is something that I know because I've worked with a lot of people with a lot of knee injuries specifically, and this forward, when we push up like this, oftentimes someone with sensitive knees will not feel so good, okay? So if that's you, if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling any kind of pressure, you can always feel free to just do the step back lunge rather than that forward and backward lunge, okay? And that's my precautionary warning because I know this one, and it might not feel in the first set or 2, but it might kind of start to feel that sharp, pinchy pain towards set 3 and 4. So if that starts to happen, you guys can always sub in just that back lunge if you need to. And still get them in. So we'll get this third set in, you guys. Number 3,
trying our best to go right into it. Lunges. So we're trying to not touch the floor between that transition, which I know is totally easier said than done, because a little bit of balance and you have to really use your power. That's the goal there. So we'll try to make that happen on this set, on our next one, our last one I should say. So one more after this. Yay, the lunges. So I'll get you guys finishing up this third set nice and strong. There it is. So we'll go right into that deadlift. And you guys are holding dumbbells in front of you. If you don't have dumbbells, hold a band here, towel, soft knees, and then hip hinge. And if you want to make this a bit more challenging, you can hold this band in this overhead position, which makes us use a lot more through our upper body. And if you don't have dumbbells, will help us crank that up a notch. All right. Woo! See, there's that little sneaky cardio I was talking about. It is in here in these lunges. Creeping up on us. Okay. Good job, you guys. So we're going right into our third, fourth set. Both of these ones. And 8 of those forward, backward, and then 15 of these deadlifts, these hip hinges. There it is. Nice work, you guys. All right. Okay, so let's finish up strong here. I know you are getting tired. Your legs are quite exhausted probably right now, but try to just breathe through this. We are going to take a couple minutes of rest. Once we're done this superset before we start the next one, and the next one is also the last one before we have our nice conditioning circuit that you know is coming at you after all of this stuff. So we'll finish up strong, take our time. You guys have lots of time. We have about 2 minutes, which is, well, really just enough time to finish up our final set here. Not a lot of buffer time today, and that's okay. So we'll get you guys going on your last set of these lunges. Woo, and the balance. So forward, backwards, 8 per side, finishing nice and strong, you guys. Woo-hoo. There you go. Good job, you guys. Oh, yes. Finishing strong. So we'll get you guys focusing nice and strong this last set. 8, 8, and 15 of them. Let's do it. I have a special appearance. My mom's cat is always wanting to come in this video. She is. There you go. Just shoo her away. Okay. Final set, my friends. This is it. So we'll finish it strong. Last round of these 2. Burning exercises. Yes. This is it. This is your last set of them. So finish strong. Finish this last set, knowing that we gave it all we got. We're going to feel way better if we can do that for ourselves. So thinking about our legs, trying to use those muscles, not so much pushing ourselves off the floor. Make it happen. Last set. So I'll give you guys 1 more minute, which I know is a little longer than I said, but we got 1 more minute here before I will start explaining the last part. There you go. So 8 per side, 15 total. You guys got it going on. Nice strong core. There it is. All right.
So once you guys are done, it's Animal House up in here. Once you guys are done, we'll grab a quick sip of water. We're gonna have about 1 minute before we're technically going to start our final part here, which is our last superset. So you guys can walk it off, shake it out, which you're probably going to want to do after that superset. That towel is coming back into play for this last part here. So we're going to be working with a 3-point extension. So that's the one where I'm going to have the towel underneath my foot and slide that towel around on the floor. Now again, lots of us don't have that as an option. So what we're going to do instead, or you can add a band around your heels, or you can just do what I'm doing here, where I'm just tapping my foot. But ideally, we'll want something where we can slide our foot or have a band around our heels. So I'm going to kind of adjust my station so I have some space. There we go. I'll go over this corner here. Okay. Actually, you know what? Ooh, we're just gonna move that now. All right, so good job, you guys. So I'm gonna take this towel and square it up. So it's fold it up into like one square like this, so that I have it here. I'm going to be using it for that 3-point extension. Now, this one for me, I know that I really like this one, and I know that it's not going to be very challenging if I do this with just my body weight. So I'm going to add a band right off the bat. Now, you can take this or leave this. You don't have to do this, but just know that it's going to make this feel a lot harder, okay? So if you have the towel, or if you don't have the towel, you have the band on. We're going to get ourselves into an athletic hinged position. So I want to push my hips back and lean slightly forward, strong core. I'll load up my one leg that does not have the towel. We're kicking it out to the side, back on an angle, and then straight back, counting every one of those reps. And you guys are doing 15 total. So I know this looks like I should be using, this is my working leg here, but it's actually the standing leg that's getting all this work. We're counting every single rep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, and you guys are doing 15. And then we're going to switch and do the same thing on the other side here, okay? So again, if you don't have the towel, you're gonna load up that leg and just really lightly tap your foot on the floor. Same idea though, trying to essentially balance on that one side. Woo! Okay, so that's our first one, you guys. We are pairing this with one more. Legs, legs, legs. So this is definitely back side, back of the hips. Feel all those things going on there. Okay, so when we are done this, we're going to grab onto our dumbbells if we have them, holding them down by our sides. Those of you who have bands, we're just going to follow along with body weight. You guys have a deadlift to double calf raise. So we're in a narrow stance for this one. As I go blurry, there we go. Narrow stance. We're going to push our hips back and bend our knees for this deadlift. But I still want to keep my butt lifted up into the air. And then I'll stand and shoot up onto my toes twice. And that's 1. And we're doing 10 of these total. That's 2. So we're trying to keep our shoulder blades squeezed together. And I'm driving my hips back so we don't end up like this. I don't want to be sitting with my knees driving forward. I want to stick it out and then shoot up onto my toes twice. And we'll go through your 10 reps total. So again, if you do not have dumbbells, we can just follow along body weight, going through the double calves. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Good job, guys. And I know this feels nice now, coming back to the double after we did those burning singles last day. Okay, so we'll get through the 10. And then this is you guys. This is going to take us to the finish line. We have 3 more rounds of this back to back, no rest in between. Okay, just if you need like a quick moment to ponder your life, give you a quick sip of water, but there is no prescribed rest. So once we're done with that one, we will get going right into our second set of this 3-point extension. Okay, so band or no band, whatever you want to do to make this challenging. And so with this one of the most common mistakes is putting weight in this moving leg. And then we end up actually like shifting and moving like this, and then we're not getting any work in that standing leg. So think about balancing first. Find that positioning. Feel your hip loaded up. That's another thing. We should feel tight in our glutes here. Shouldn't just feel like we're standing. We should feel working right away. And then we add this, which just cranks it up a notch. So make that happen for yourself, you guys. Second set. 15 of them. Let's do it. There you go. Keeping your body so still. No movement at all. Just the leg. And oh, I know, it burns way more doing it like that because we're actually getting all of that work and focus on that standing leg. Yes. Okay, so 15, and it's a 3-point side, 45 back. You got it. Nice work, you guys. Okay, so going right into that deadlift to double calf raise. Try not to touch your heel down between the calf raises. We want the heels down on the deadlift. When we come up and we lift, we don't relax our heels down between those two lifts, and then we come down on the deadlift. So yes, it takes a little bit of balance. Take me a little bit slower. There we go. And for these ones, I'm holding my weights on the sides of my body down here. Because of the way we're doing this deadlift, I mean, first of all, we have room because our knees are more narrow, but the closer the weights, the less stress I'm gonna put on my lower back and my core. So having them beside me allows me to do that. Whereas if they're in front of me, now I'm feeling get a little bit more through here. Okay, 2 more sets, you guys. We are so close. This towel and this floor slides so nice. Just saying. Sometimes I don't know if it's like the thickness of the towel. Sometimes if they're too thin or if they have like the lines in them, they just do not slide. It's just horrible. This one's like, woo. Okay, so we'll get through our third set of this 3-point extension. Now, one thing that used to happen to me all the time without even anything, like I had to really be conscious of this to fix this knee caving in situation. This would always happen to me, and I literally did not notice until it was pointed out to me by one of my friends who's a trainer. So now it's something that I think about all the time. It's something that you guys should think about too, because a little push out makes a huge difference in terms of knee safety, as well as getting the work in the right place of the hip. Because as soon as this knee comes in, that means I'm not using this. But if I actively push it out, I have to use this muscle to stabilize that hip. So before you start your next set, 2, if you 1 more, whatever it is, let's look down, like actually check yourself and make sure that you have a bit of that external rotation. So I'm trying to rotate my hip outward, and then I hold it there the entire set. Try it. Try it. Okay. Hopefully it makes you feel a little bit more back there. If you were not thinking about this, totally, this just changes the entire exercise to make you feel it a lot more in the best way possible. All right, so second, last set. Approaching our last one, coming up. So you guys are working with, again, 10 reps of this double calf raise deadlift combo. Oh, yes. There we go. Yes, so look at that knee. Make sure you're pushing it out and keep it out there the entire time. See what it feels like in your hip. Ouch. But we like that burn. It's the burn we're here for. All right, so you guys have 1 more set after this one. The last set. And we are very good for time. We have 4 minutes as I walk in circles looking for my timer phone timer. Okay, so you guys technically have 3 minutes now before we should be pressing start on our final circuit that we are going to do. So take your time with these last 2, this last set. You guys have lots of time to go through it. All right. Yes. Okay. Final set, guys. Let's do it. Load up those hips. And you work through 15, making every single one of those reps count. Okay, all of them. You should feel every one of them. Right from the first one. 15 of them. Okay, nice job, you guys. Woo, taking our time with it. Finishing nice and strong. We are almost there. Finishing up our lower body strength. Oops. Okay. Oh yeah. A little OCD. Okay. Good job, you guys. So let's finish up here, getting all those 15 reps in. 10, making those double calf raises, not touching our heels down between. Finishing strong there. We have 2 minutes. I'll give you one more to finish up, and then I'm going to start talking about this last part. Woohoo! All right, you guys, nice work. 10 total. Once you're done, walk it off, grab some water, get yourself mentally prepared for this last part. All right, you guys, nice work. So we are going to start to talk about the final part here, which is all about your heart, your lungs, your cardio, your conditioning, getting your heart rate up. That is the goal for this last part here. So this is going to take us 16 minutes to get through. So we have a bit of a big circuit today, but you guys are doing 3 exercises. We're completing 4 sets total of these 3, and all of them are quite lower body focused movements. Okay, so we're going to have that cardio, that conditioning, as well as that leg burning endurance work going on here. Okay, so timer is set. 60 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We have 3 movements. We're going to go through 4 rounds total. First round, yes, it counts, but it is the round where you're going to kind of figure out what you're doing. We're going to do it together. I'm going to show you this first one, and then I'll plan through these next 3 rounds, okay? So first exercise is a squat jump. Now, there are a lot of ways we can do squat jumps, and I already told you guys that you're doing this for 1 minute, and 1 minute of squat jumps equals really effing hard, okay? So we're going to try to get through this for a minute. I'm going to show you guys a few different variations with the jump, and those of you who do not jump, we can either squat, shoot up onto the toes, or simply just work with quick squats, okay? So we're going to press start it up, and then I'll show you guys the other ones on the timer. Are you ready? Set, go. Here we go. So standard squat jump is just us jumping and squatting. If you want to kind of switch it up, make it a little bit interesting, you can do a pop squat jump where we tap our feet in the middle. I like this one because it kind of slows it down. I mean, I'm still doing squat jumps the entire time, but I'm having a little bit of that distraction factor with that bit of pop squat in the middle there. The other way that you guys can do this is a heel tap. Now this I find is a lot harder than that pop because I have to bring my legs together, get a bit of work in the inner thighs. But most important, as I'm out of breath over here, is that you guys do something for 20 more seconds, all right? You just need to move, whether you're doing just the squat jumps or just the squats. Let's keep going here. 10 seconds left. Woo! Leg burning cardio action. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so you guys have 20 seconds of rest, which you really are going to want to need. You're going to want, I mean. So walk it off, take some deep breaths. Next one's down on the floor. We're going into a mountain climber. So we're going to get into a plank position. 1 knee drives, and we'll switch the legs. And you guys will be working through this for 60 seconds. Here we go. So, I know, another one that is really, really hard for a minute. So what we're going to do is try our best to just pace ourselves
and hold at least a plank position for that minute. If you need to do low impact, you can just drive. Okay, if you can't do the jumping one, or maybe you get too tired, we can just drive, or we can just hold the plank on the hands, on the forearms. You got 30 seconds left, my friends, so just do something to stay with us in this plank. Ooh, yes. Come on now. 15 seconds left. Let's go, stay with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up. Okay, you guys, nice work. Last one before we repeat. We're gonna have 4 split jumps, 2 lunge jumps. So I'm gonna set up my feet, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Low impact, we're gonna go 1, 2, and step, okay? Here we go. A little bit of coordination, a little bit of thinking for the brain, for the body. So same thing here, we'll try our best to pace ourselves. Now with this one, you can really make what you want of it. If you want to do more split jumps, just keep those 2 lunge jumps. You want to just do the split jumps, maybe you just want to do the lunge jumps. Just need you moving for this entire 30 seconds that we have left. Woo! So yeah, another one that's kind of a bit of a distraction factor in here. We have the split jumps, breaking up those lunge jumps. So trying to land as soft as possible is the goal here. 10 more seconds to do that. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, time. Nice job, you guys. Okay, so take a couple sips of water, walk it off. Yeah, this is not going to be easy, but we can do this. This is why you're here, because you definitely, probably, would not do this on your own, but you will do it with us. So yay. So we'll try to get through this second set exact same as we did on the first. Set yourself up, and here we go. So if you're working with whatever squat jump variation you guys were doing, we'll work through it. And if you are not going to make it, we will definitely be able to keep going in squats. So just keep doing something. Nice job, you guys. Let's go. There it is, halfway, 30 seconds left, guys. Woohoo. I'm gonna have to like put all these animals in the room for this class. 10 seconds left, you guys, you got this. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so resting. We know the next one is mountain climbers, which is down on the floor. But we'll take a couple deep breaths up here first, getting ourselves down into that plank position within the next 5 seconds, because that's when the timer's going to go off. So get down there. 3, 2, here we go. So mountain climbers. Going through these ones for 60 seconds. Again, if it's too much, you can hold the plank in this mountain climber. We don't do these the most often because they work a lot in your hip flexors, your quads, everything through the front of the leg as we have to kind of jump our legs like that. So they tend to really kind of take over in here for lots of people, because most of us have tight hips. So if that's happening to you, you can always just take out that run, that jump, or you can sub in a plank jack instead, as it really does help us to not use those hip flexors so much. 20 seconds left. And that's not a bad thing to use those, but sometimes it can just be too much. And I know that because I have that problem. I have tight hips, and I know. 10 seconds left. And so I think about these things because I don't want you guys to have to like push through that back pain. But you already knew that. Time. Nice work. Okay. Stand it up. Stand it up. All right. Deep breath. Breath this.
couple of them. We have these split jumps, 2 lunge jumps. We'll set up feet, opposite hands, deep breaths. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And if you're low impact, we go over and back. And then lunge and lunge. Or maybe you can do a combination of the two. Maybe you can do these ones, but then the lunge jumps don't feel so good. So you can do the split jumps and then lunge and lunge. Okay, whatever you gotta do, 30 seconds left. I'm giving you all these options because that's how important it is that you guys do not stop. Okay, you need to do something till this timer goes off and for 2 more rounds after this. And then you are done, and it is Friday, so you guys have a weekend coming up. And you can think about how hard this was. 10 seconds, and think about how hard you pushed yourself in it. The fact that you still did it, even though it was pretty horrible. 3, 2, rest. Nice job, you guys. Okay. That was our second set. We can handle this. 2 more rounds. We can do this. It's not gonna be easy. We already know this. That's why we're here. Okay. So we'll get ourselves squat stance. Ready? Set. Here we go. Third set, you guys. So trying to pace ourselves, landing as soft as possible. Do whatever version of that squat jump that you want to do. Something that's making you uncomfortable, makes you feel like you want to stop. That's when you really have to keep going. Tap into whatever you got going on inside that allows you to keep going. Halfway, 30 seconds left. There it is. Good job, you guys. Breathing through them. If you need to go to the squats to heel raises. 15 seconds left. Woo! Let's do this. See if you can get back into those squat jumps. Let's go. Get like 3 more of them in, maybe 4. Depends how fast you are. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice job. Okay. All right. Only have to do that 1 more time. Do these ones. 1 more. We're done. All right. Mountain climbers. So we'll get down into that plank position. And really important that you hold the plank. So if you're touching your knees down, let's try to make that not happen. Ready, set, here we go. So mountain climbing our way through this minute, and ideally moving both legs at once, jumping right and left. But if we need to, we can do one at a time, driving, or even plank jack instead. Yes. But you gotta stay in that plank for just over 30 more seconds. There we go. Halfway, you guys, 30 seconds left. So more than anything, what's gonna help you right now is breathing. Nice controlled inhales and exhales. 15 more seconds. Just focus on your breath, and before you know it, you will be there. If you take like 3 more nice, slow, deep breaths, you will be there. Here we go, 1 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yes! All right, good job, you guys. Split jump, lunge jump. Woohoo! Okay. Third set. Are you ready for this? Well, ready or not, we are starting right now. Here we go. So we'll work you guys going through this one as fluidly and making it flow as much as you can, landing as soft as possible so that we're not hard jerking when we land on our joints, on the floor. There it is. Okay, so this is our third set. We've done 2 before this already. Your body knows what's going on. So we can really push it. We can really make it work a little bit faster, a little bit harder. But do stay in control of what's happening with your legs, with your arms, connecting all of that. 20 more seconds. There it is. Come on, you guys. You so have this. 10 seconds left. Get like 2 more of those in, the whole thing. Split jumps, the lunges, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job, you guys. All right, here we are. Woo! The last set. So we're gonna take this, 10 seconds that you guys have left of the 20 seconds of rest. Breathing, resting, going right into our last set, which starts in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Last set. So we'll try to finish as strong as possible and landing as soft as we can through these squat jumps. Woo-wee! You guys have this. Okay, so remember how you felt on your first round. You were like, wow, this is really hard. How am I going to do this 3 more times? This is how. You're here. You're on the last round. So we really just have to push ourselves. And you'll get through this the same way you got through the first 3. 30 seconds left, okay? Just pace yourself. If you think you can, continue jumping. Try to exhale when you jump. See if that helps you get a few more of these in. So we have 20 seconds left, and I do not want you guys to stop. Whatever you were doing at the first bit of the round, see if you can do it again. For the last 10 seconds, just right now, let's go. Come on. Yes. Jumping a little higher. Woo! 3, 2, 1, and they're done. They're done. Squat jumps are done. Good job, you guys. Okay. Mountain climbers. The lunge, split jumps. And then we are done for the day, for the week. All right, so we'll get into this plank position, mountain climber status, and here we go. Okay, so we'll work through this one, doing something in a plank position. Something to make you work in that plank. So we know anything moving is going to be a lot harder than holding. So we're doing the mountain climbers, doing the plank jacks. Let's try to do something. 30 more seconds. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice work, guys. Breathing through this. 20 seconds left. Stay in that plank. Drop down, get back up there. Okay, do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on us. You can do this. Try winding up your feet if you need to. 10 seconds left. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, you guys. Yay! All right, stand up. Get off the floor. We're going to finish you off with this last one. The split jumps to lunge jumps. Take us to the finish line. Not so bad. Kind of fun. I don't know. They're actually really hard too. Okay, ready? 3, 2, here we go. But these ones are really, like most things, they're as hard as you make them. So let's try to make it as hard as possible on this last set. Really try to make your legs and arms move faster. Not just faster, but faster together. Okay, everything's moving at once. On the split jumps and on those lunge jumps. So close, you guys. Halfway there. We have 30 seconds left in this one. There it is. Breathing through this last set, last one. Strong finish right now. Woo! There it is. Last 10 seconds. You have this. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Couple more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. You guys are done. Yay! So we are gonna rest right now, which you are definitely feeling like you need. Okay, after doing that, that was really hard, and I know this. Okay, I know. But you did it, and it's done, and you probably feel pretty damn good about yourself because that's how hard it was. So we're going to take about a minute, 2 minutes, maybe 3, to let our heart rates come down and just breathe and just feel like a normal person, okay? Because right now you're feeling probably really hot and heavy, your legs are on fire, and your heart and lungs are going like crazy. So we're just going to let all that calm down. Moving helps, okay? So if you have space, you probably have space to walk around your room, drink your water, try to just calm down, take those deep breaths. When you're feeling ready, okay, we're gonna do a couple stretches, important ones that you need to do today after doing all that stuff we just did. Hip flexors, probably the most important. So we can do either our half kneeling hip flexor stretch right here, or I also have recently been talking about how to do this one standing. So if you wanna do the standing version, kneeling, it does not matter, okay? And this is only gonna happen once you start to feel okay again. If you're still feeling like your cardio is still going like crazy, take another minute or two and just relax, okay? But once you can hold down that conversation, you can join yourself in a stretch, because I'm gonna leave you guys with these stretches. I'm not gonna do them with you. But 60 seconds per side on this hip stretch. And then we also wanna do something for the glutes, the back of the hips, so we can lay on our back and do a little bit of this action. Or if you wanna position yourself with your foot against the wall, something like that, whatever you guys wanna do. So those are the most important things to stretch. But anything else that you guys wanna stretch from the back of your legs, maybe your lower back, maybe some bow and arrow type stuff, I'm gonna leave you guys to do that, okay? Thank you so much for joining me live, Dave and Carly. You guys are awesome. Hopefully you guys have a great day and a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Woohoo! And happy Halloween, I guess. Whatever it's gonna be this year, we don't know. But anyways, eat lots of Halloween candy. Bye, you guys.